Hey guys, I want to thank you guys for joining the quest. If I sound a little bit funny, a little bit weird, it's because I'm sick, so bear with me. I just wanted to give you guys my most anticipated for 2017. I looked at the Wikipedia page for 2017 in film. It's a lot of good movies coming out that I'm interested in. We have Split, John Wick, The Cure for Wellness, Get Out, Transpotting 2, Kong, Skull Island, Beauty and the Beast, Ghost in the Shell, Cars 3, Spider-Man Homecoming, Insidious Chapter 4, Saw 4, Paddington 2, Justice League. A lot of good movies coming out that I'm really interested in. So it's kind of hard to narrow this list down with there being such a vast catalog. But number 10 on my list is All Eyes on Me. This is a Tupac movie. I'm not really sure who the production company is behind this. I know John Singleton was once supposed to be the director, but I believe he left it just because of the backlash and maybe some discrepancies along with the cast and co-writers and productions people and all. But this is a movie about Tupac, basically about his life. I'm hoping this is a good movie. I thought the Biggie movie Notorious was okay, and I really did enjoy NWA. I think it barely missed out on my most or best of 2015. So this one, I'm just kind of looking forward to it. I saw the trailer. It kind of looks real authentic and natural, like a documentary type. And the guy that plays Tupac looks just like Tupac. So I don't see what can go wrong with this movie. Number 9 for me is the Lego Batman movie. The Lego movie I didn't see in theaters. I saw it just because of the Oscars of 2015, I want to say, or 2016. And this movie, honestly, was a whole bunch of fun. And with that being said, I thought it got snubbed because I thought that was the best movie of that year. So Lego Batman movie, Batman is in the Lego movie. Man, he was a great big part of the movie and a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he does in this role and how that kind of stands out on his own and all. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I want to see what can be different from the Lego movie and how they can maybe make this a whole Batman type of movie, but with the Lego feel. Number 8 in my most anticipated movies is Star Wars Episode 8. Would be a lot higher, but there's just a lot of good movies coming out, and with me seeing Episode 7, this is just low on the list just because I know it's going to be a good movie. It's just a matter of me just filling in like what's going to be coming out. I want to learn more about Rey. I want to see if she's a Kenobi or if she's like maybe like an Anakin Skywalker that's born of the Force type of person. I want to see some more relationship dynamics between Han Solo and Princess Leia. Rest in peace, Carrie Fisher. That was some terrible news that I heard earlier today. I want to see some more Poe Dameron and also some um, Finn. I just want to see the cast back together and see what's going on. I miss BB-8, and I'm just ready to go for this adventure. See what Luke takes Rey. Number 7 on my list is Kingsman: The Golden Circle. Kingsman was like my favorite movie last year. Well, not my favorite, but one of my favorites. And I thought it was really, underrated. A lot of people didn't see it and didn't really enjoy it for some reason, or just didn't really know about it. But Kingsman is Golden Circle. I didn't really think Kingsman needed a sequel, but hey, if it's the same cast and the same type of themes, and we get anything like that church scene, I'm all in. I mean, that church scene was amazing. Taron Egerton to me is like one of the up and coming actors of this generation, and I'm looking forward to it. It's like James Bond mixed in with some Austin Powers, and I love James Bond, so let's go. Number 6 on my list is Logan. This is supposed to be Hugh Jackman's last time playing Wolverine. Hopefully, if we're lucky enough, maybe we'll see him in a cameo in the next Deadpool movie or so, if we're lucky. But this one, if you don't know, it follows the Old Man Logan story, if I believe is correct. And luckily for me, my sister got me the Old Man Logan graphic novel, so I can catch up and understand what the hell is going on here. We're going to see the dynamic between Professor X and Wolverine. I'm guessing Wolverine hasn't really been Wolverine for a long time. We see somebody that looks like X-23 in here. So it could be a nice way to, pass the throne off to the next future, Wolverine type of character and get their own standalone movie. So I see this being like the bridge between the old X-Men cast and the new X-Men cast, if that makes sense. Number 5 on my list is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Now, Guardians of the Galaxy for me, when I first heard it was going to be announced, I thought it was going to be terrible. I didn't know who the hell any of those characters were. I was like, Marvel, what the hell are you doing? Like, I at least knew who Iron Man was. Like, I grew up watching the first time Avengers. So these guys, Guardians of the Galaxy and like Inhumans, I was like, what the hell are you guys doing, Marvel? And boy, was I wrong. That movie was probably the funniest movie of 2015. And Guardians of the Galaxy is just a nice, I'm not going to say space opera, but it's like Marvel in space. And it's just a ton of fun. You get Groot, um, the Rocket, what's his name? The little raccoon dude. I love him. I love the raccoon. It's my favorite. But this one, I'm looking forward more to Baby Groot than anything. I know Batista and we have Chris Pratt and Zoe Saldana in there, but Baby Groot, come on. Number four on my list is Power Rangers. If you know me, growing up, I was like the biggest Power Rangers fan. Like I've probably seen every Power Rangers up to maybe Mystic Force or whatever. And I was like 10 or so years ago now. I love Power Rangers growing up, and red's my favorite color because of Power Rangers. You know, red being the leader of the group and all, me being the oldest of my siblings, I could relate to it. You know, responsibility and all that goes into being the oldest and the leader. So this, franchise was a big impact on my life, and I'm looking forward to how this movie goes. It kind of looks like a superhero movie that you would get nowadays, like origin story, and I love how the suits look. I'm kind of skeptical with a few things, like the what's his name, Zordon, if I'm not mistaken, and the robot dude that kind of helps out. I'm kind of iffy on some of the pictures that came out, like the Megazords and stuff too. But it's Power Rangers, and this is like my childhood, so I have to go see this. Number three on my list is Dunkirk. Also, if you know me, Christopher Nolan is like my favorite director right now. This guy is like undefeated when it comes to movie. He has never made a bad movie to me. He might have made a good movie, but all of his movies are basically good or great. So Dunkirk is something totally different for him. It's not going to be like a thriller or a mystery or a superhero thing. It's going to be a war movie. And the trailer came out maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, and the movie kind of looks like this generation's Saving Private Ryan. I'm hoping that Christopher Nolan still does his type of directing style and his motifs and all. Still has some strong themes in there. Still has maybe a little bit of a mystery where you don't know what's going on and all. But with this being based on historical facts and events, I believe we probably won't. But it's good to see Christopher Nolan do something different. So I'm kind of intrigued, and I want to see how this goes for him. Number two on my list is War for Planet of the Apes. I like the progression of the movies. I don't know if people noticed this, but within the first movie, the apes they couldn't really talk. They were doing sign language mostly. In the second movie, they could talk, but it wasn't sentences. It was more of like fragments and phrases. But here, it seems like they're adapting to the human culture and they can talk full time. We're seeing the apes become human, and we're seeing the humans become the apes. So I really like the progression of that, and I'm really curious to see about how Caesar and the apes go about this. If you've seen the last movie, you know that Caesar killed his best friend Koba. So basically anything goes, and if you cross him, you're liable to lose your life. Basically, and this is like the last, standout war or battle between the apes and the humans. So I'm assuming the movie after this will be Planet of the Apes as we know it to be from the 1960s and all. But I just like seeing the progression of these movies. I think Andy Serkis is a phenomenal actor. Can this guy please get nominated for doing this whole motion capture thing? At least make it its own category because it's becoming a bigger thing. We see this with the Tarkins, the CGI Tarkins, even though CGI, but it's a guy that's standing in place of the guy. Same thing with Carrie Fisher. We see this with the Lord of the Rings. This is becoming a bigger thing. I think motion capture deserves its own category. At least let them be nominated for best actor in that sense. But for me, the most anticipated movie of 2017, without a doubt, is Blade Runner 2049 or 2049, however you want to read it. This movie stars Harrison Ford and Ryan Gosling. It's directed by Denis Villeneuve, who also directed some of my all-time favorite movies like Enemy, Prisoners. I have to see Arrival soon. I have to. But this guy arguably is the second favorite director to me right now, right next to Christopher Nolan. Like all the movies that I've seen, I haven't seen the Incendies, but this guy is undefeated when it comes to movies. He makes nothing but great movies and thought-provoking movies, and I really appreciate that. And Blade Runner, just based on the teaser trailer alone that came out a few weeks ago, this guy, he definitely has a feel for Blade Runner. It looks just like how it did when it came out in '87. That same culture, the same feel, same vibe. It seems like Ryan Gosling's character is gonna be the one chasing Harrison Ford, and maybe Ryan Gosling will find out that he's like Harrison Ford in the original Blade Runner. Blade Runner to me is not one of those movies that need a sequel, but here it seems like they're going to do the sequel or the original justice, and it seems like they're going to do a nice continuation and still tackle the themes and the portrayals and the cinematography. I think Roger Deakins is doing this movie. The cinematography still fits within the whole Blade Runner atmosphere, and it looks a lot better. And it's cool to see this world updated in 2016, much like Star Wars. So this is my most anticipated for 2017. Let me know your list. If you want to hit the like buttons for this video, you want to hit the subscribe button for this channel, and you want to join the quest.